pek çok yerde.
We cannot say that inflation has ceased to be a source of concern in many places. Indeed, we are closely observing the signs of this in the statements made. Even countries that have made certain progress in the fight against inflation are not letting go of their caution, prudence, and vigilance. Of course, we must also add to this the hot conflicts taking place in our region. We all know very well the anxiety caused by the war between Russia and Ukraine, which is approaching its fourth year in the economy and financial markets. Similarly, the tariff tension that has heated up again in recent days between America and China is creating additional pressure on the global economy. As Turkey, in such an atmosphere, we are striving both to keep our country away from conflicts, to heal the wounds of the February 6 disaster, and to reach the economic targets we have set. Yesterday, we took an important step in stopping the Gaza genocide, which has been the biggest bleeding wound in our region for the last 2 years. As leaders, we demonstrated strong determination in Sharm El-Sheikh. I hope that the quadruple declaration we signed together with American President Mr. Trump, Egyptian President Mr. Sisi, and the Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim, will be a new milestone on the path to lasting peace in our region. Praise be to God. Today in Gaza, even if bittersweet, the children's faces are smiling. Aid workers, praise be to God, are prostrating in gratitude. Mothers, for the first time in 2 years, are able to send their children out to the street without the fear of bombs raining down from above. Just seeing these things alone brings us great joy. Of course, while saying these, we do not forget this fact. The genocide, which left behind 68,000 martyrs, more than 170,000 wounded, destroyed cities, shattered lives, orphaned and fatherless children, the damage it caused may never be fully remedied. Those innocent little ones whose mothers, fathers, and siblings were brutally slaughtered before their eyes will carry the pain of this in their hearts throughout their lives. Rebuilding Gaza will probably take years. There is a construction period for the event, and there is also a revitalization period. Construction and revitalization. And Turkey has an important duty here. Of course, we will discuss and deliberate this together with the Gulf countries, primarily the United States, and decide what steps we will take on this matter. But despite all this, after 2 years of pain, massacre, and oppression, we consider the achievement of a ceasefire in Gaza to be extremely valuable. Now, together, we need to heal Palestine's wounds, rebuild Gaza, and be a lifeline for our Gazan brothers. As Turkey, we will work for this and closely follow every stage of the process with this understanding. For the future of our Palestinian brothers, we will strive to manage this process with patience, foresight, resolve, and ease. Our desire is that the meaningful step taken yesterday will be crowned with lasting and just peace. Undoubtedly, the only way to this is the establishment of an independent, sovereign Palestinian state with territorial integrity based on the 1967 borders, with its capital in East Jerusalem. Inshallah, I believe with all my heart that we will also see those beautiful days. Dear brothers and sisters, dear fellow travelers, after the 2023 elections, we have begun to see the effects of the economic program we implemented. We have achieved significant results in many areas, starting with inflation. Undoubtedly, there is still a long way to go ahead of us. As I always say, our top priority is to root out the problem of high cost of living. Despite obstacles beyond our control such as drought, agricultural frost, and regional crises, we are determined to reach our targets. We continue to heal the wounds of the earthquake rapidly. To date, as the public sector, at current prices, we have spent 3.6 trillion lira, that is, approximately $90 billion. Last month in Malaysia, we handed over the keys of our 304,000th disaster housing to the rightful owner brothers and sisters. By the end of 2025, by delivering a total of 453,000 independent sections, we will have, inshallah, rebuilt our earthquake region. While prioritizing these expenditures, we are not compromising on fiscal discipline. We are also implementing a very important project regarding the still high rents and housing prices. From now on, regarding rents, the state will do the planning. Applause. That is, the citizens should not come and rent it out themselves and exploit the citizen there with high rents. Without giving them this opportunity, the state will rent out these social housings itself and, inshallah, we will sincerely initiate the process of affordable renting. With this initiative we call the Housing Project of the Century, we will build a total of 500,000 social housing units in all 81 provinces. In our project, we will allocate special quotas for martyrs, relatives, and veterans, for retirees, for families with 3 children, and for disabled citizens. Also with this project, for the first time in Turkey, we will implement the rental housing application through our Toki. We will rent out a portion of the social housings to our citizens under favorable conditions, especially giving a sigh of relief to low-income families. Our housing project will not only strengthen our hand in social policies but also in the fight against inflation, contributing to our goal of reaching single-digit inflation. At the end of October, inshallah, we will share the details of our project correctly with our nation. I must also make this reminder here. There is no change whatsoever in our government's growth policy centered on production, investment, employment, and exports. Despite the uncertainties in the global economy and the low growth rates in our trade partners, the Turkish economy continues its growth. In the first half of 2025, our annual growth was 3.6%. Our national income, on an annualized basis, approached $1.5 trillion. From where to where? No stopping. Onward. On the production front, except for the agricultural sector, which contracted due to agricultural frost, there was value-added growth in all sectors. Our manufacturing industry exhibited the highest performance in the last 12 quarters. Our unemployment rate has been in single digits for 28 months. We see all these as encouraging figures. But in this process, we never close our ears to the demands and expectations of our real sector. I want to express clearly that we are aware of every kind of difficulty, every kind of need, and every kind of challenge encountered. We attach great importance to meeting these demands without undermining our economic stability program. As the government and political institution, our primary duty is to find solutions to problems. For 23 years, we have always done this. And from now on, we will be the ones producing solutions. Applause. In this process, I want to remind once again that the information coming from you and the briefings you will provide are of utmost importance. I believe in you, in this team, and trust you to the end. With God's permission, we will race Turkey from success to success, and together with you, we will experience new records, new joys, and excitements for Turkey. Dear brothers and sisters, as a ruling party, we do not face only global and regional challenges. Along with these, There is also a main opposition party that seems to have vowed to trip up the Turkish economy. When corruption operations began, to save the pickpockets entrenched in the public treasury from the judiciary, they invented something called a boycott any brand, institution, company, press, and media outlet that did not support them. They stuffed all of them into this boycott sack. In their rallies, from booing these brands to targeting them, they did everything incompatible with reason and conscience. But whatever they did, they could not succeed. The boycott calls across our country, like all their other endeavors, always backfired. Our nation did not buy into their calls to halt the economy without thinking about the consequences. Now it is understood that the purpose of the boycott was to threaten national brands and subject them to extortion. By mingling with criminal organizations, they have come to resemble them more and more. Our nation now confuses whether they are a political party or mafia. Of course, would a political party threaten everyone in sight? Would a political party incite its thugs to lynch everyone who does not support it? Under Mr. Özal's leadership, the CHP is increasingly losing its identity as a political party. I said it before, the CHP is not being managed. It is drifting here and there like a ship with a locked rudder. The captain does not care about either the ship or the passengers. He is busy saving the day with empty matters and empty agendas. Even if they are our rivals, we do not want anyone to fall into such a situation. On the contrary, we want our rivals to be up to our quality and caliber. Our wish is that the CHP overcomes this identity crisis as soon as possible. Dear brothers and sisters, we see the reflections of this identity crisis not only in economic policies but also in foreign policies. They could never abandon the habit of going abroad and complaining about their own country to foreigners. They claimed that in visits to other countries, they would act not as the main opposition party but as the Turkey party. But they could not even keep the word that came out of their own mouths. The CHP leader's latest visit was, in the true sense of the word, a disaster in this regard. Look, I'm saying this independently of myself. The name for having comrades be the president of this country, elected by the people's votes in Western capitals. Excuse me, but it is not politics. It is not opposition at all. What befits Turkey's main opposition party and its leader is not to prepare the ground for such a scandal, but on the contrary, to stand as a bulwark against it. Domestic politics is separate, foreign policy is separate, inside is separate, abroad is separate. Unfortunately, Mr. Özal has not learned to make this distinction. If he does not change his advisors, I fear he will never learn. Inshallah, before it is too late, without disgracing himself further, without damaging Turkey's reputation further, he finds the opportunity to learn this. Of course, we will not determine our stance by looking at him. Wrong cannot be our reference. To respond to wrong with another wrong does not befit us. We will take care to preserve courtesy, respect, and common sense in politics. We will continue to elevate Turkey's reputation and brand value beyond any political competition, whether inside or outside the country. In every place we are, in every meeting we attend, we will struggle to represent our nation with honor and dignity. Applause. I say, may our Lord be our helper and supporter. With these thoughts, I wish our meeting to be a means to good things. I congratulate once again those who contributed to the consultation meeting. Through you, I send my heartfelt greetings to all 81 provinces.